Good morning, folks. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. Today's video, I'm bringing you a new soccer platform called Soccerverse, and hopefully by the end of this video, you too will able to see the massive potential Soccerverse has. It's a platform that allows any user to play any role within the footballing world. And what I mean by that, if you want to become a manager of a football club, you can do that on Soccerverse. If you want to become a football agent, scout, you can also do that on Soccerverse. And if, like me, you want to become a shareholder within a football club, you can also do that on Soccerverse. The reason I'm so excited about this project is there's no game currently out there like Soccerverse. Now, for anyone who has followed me since 2020, when I was fortunate to join Sorare when I did, because I made life-changing money through nothing other than luck and being on the platform early. And this is what I'm trying to get through to people, the importance of joining platforms as early as possible. And Soccerverse, although it's been in beta testing for the last few years, this game has only been released in the last 4 to 5 weeks. And in all honesty, I have not been as excited about a platform as much as Soccerverse. Having said that, please do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor, etc. Prior to investing any capital into any platform, please do your own thorough research. Now, I want to keep this video as brief as possible, so therefore I can't cover everything that Soccerverse covers within the game, because this video would last for weeks, possibly months. However, I will attach this like paper so you can read at your own leisure to gain as much information about the platform as possible. Also, I'd recommend you join Twitter or their Twitter group and also their Discord channel, because their community is very, very helpful. Just want to run through a few basics. Soccerverse runs on the Polygon network, which is good because the network is quick and is importantly cheap. It has two in-coin games, SVC and also RAPCHI, WCHI. I'm not going to cover those coins in this video. I will make another video about them, and there are videos on YouTube already about those, so check them out. However, I just want to cover the basics of Soccerverse and show you on the role that I'm more interested in Soccerverse, and show you my journey that has started literally yesterday. So this is the main Soccerverse site. Now, obviously, when you first come on, you're going to think, what the hell's going on here? It looks, in my opinion, complicated. However, once you've got into it, it's far more straightforward than it appears. Now, all these tabs, home, game world, transfer market, should be self-explanatory. For game world, you can see the globe of the world, and it covers every country almost, with every football club that is listed in that country. So theoretically, if the manager's job is available, you could take that job. You can buy influence, which is basically buying shares within that football club. You can do it all. So ultimately, whatever you want to do on this page, look at clubs, etc., to see if it's available to manage, then you can do it on this one page. The transfer market is obviously looking for players, and that is if you're obviously managing a club. The influence is buying influence shares, in another word, in either clubs or players. Votes, that is showing you voting, which I will explain later. Leaderboards will show you the rich list, the best managers, etc. within the game. And then shop is where you buy packs of influence of whatever club you want to do. Now, influence here, that is where you buy in from other players. So you can see there the red orders people are looking to sell, so I could buy. However, with the shop, the packs there, and you would pay in US dollars on the Polygon network. So it's a simple case of transferring the Polygon into USD on that network. And Bob's your uncle. So, as you all know, I'm a huge Leeds fan, and this is how I purchased my first bit of influence in Leeds United, simply by paying $11 for one pack. But obviously, I bought more than one, so I think I've spent $600-700, I think, on influences within certain clubs, which I will show you in my portfolio now. When you buy a club pack, you will also get influence in other clubs, in those 6 clubs listed. I believe they change with every 48 hours or something like that. Don't hold me to that, but that's my understanding. Now, I just want to highlight something. As you will see, Ajax has been sold out. Now, I don't want to keep harping on about getting on these platforms early, but ultimately, that's the secret of making good money. Had you bought, let me just explain as well, these numbers, those batches go from 1 to 15. So if you buy in batch 1, they will be the cheapest you will ever see them. So when they go up to batch 2, they'll increase, I think it's about 5-10%. So, as you can see, Ajax is sold out. Had you bought Ajax when it was level 1, the price now, if there were any left on 15, you'd be paying 20 times more than you would if you would have bought them at level 1. Now, bearing in mind this game has only been out 4 or 5 weeks, this is the importance of getting on the platform early. It's as simple as that. People, depending on the amounts they've bought in Ajax, they've made good money. So my strategy when I'm buying influencing clubs, obviously I want as much in Leeds because I'm a Leeds fan, but I'm looking at clubs that have batch 1 or 2. There's no way I want to be buying batches when they're 8, 9, 10, because I'm paying significantly more than what users did when they were batch 1, 2, 3, etc. So that is my strategy. I'm not saying it's the right strategy. This is just the way I'm seeing things at this moment in time. And I am basically a novice. Like I said, I've only started really investing in this in the last 24, 48 hours. Now, currently, I am the main, or the, I hold the most shares within the shareholders of Leeds. I could technically go in now and vote to get the manager out. Now, there's a few reasons I don't want to do that. Firstly, I've spoken to the guy, Alan Cole. You can see he was the manager. He's from Sierra Leone. He's a really nice fella, and this is the beauty with platforms like this. You engage with certain people you would never have any engagement with under normal circumstances. Like I said, really nice fella. He's top of the league with Leeds. Why would I want to take that away from him? That's just being a twat, in my opinion. So I've spoken to him. I've given him incentives to try and get promoted because I'll go into it, I'll explain it further. But if you get promoted, the revenues go up because obviously you're in the Premier League, etc. So I've incentivized him to try and get promoted, and I'll look after him because that's the way you should treat people. So, and like I said, I've got no real interest in managing because I'm getting older in life. I've been managing football management games since the late 80s. I've just had enough of it. I've always wanted to be involved in a football club, shareholder wise, and this gives me the opportunity. Just want to give you a flavour. The season lasts roughly 6 months. In terms of club performance, it doesn't matter what's going on in real life. Obviously, I want Leeds to get promoted from the Championship in real life because I want them back in the Premier League. But that has no influence on Leeds as a club in this game. However, player performances can and will. I will go into this in another video because I am a manager of a club, but I've started right at the lower league, so I'm not covering that this video because, like I said, this video will run for bloody weeks or months. But Just to give you a flavour, if you were becoming a football agent, a scout, etc., if you've got knowledge of young boys coming through or young talented kids, and you know they're going to become possibly a name in football, then this game is also for you because there's potential to make serious money. In the real world, I know personally a gentleman who works for Newport County on the scouting department. So obviously, I'm going to be speaking to him to see what we can do. I'm going to try and get him involved in the game first and foremost, and also if he would give me some information on decent young Welsh talent coming through, because, like I said, potentially there's money to be made. And this is the fascinating thing about this game, in my opinion. So anyway, going back to Leeds United, you can see the squad tab, the tactics, finances, history, and votes. Like I said, I could propose that I become the manager, and because I'm the main shareholder, the likelihood of that happening would be the case. But I'm not a twat, I'm not doing that. And Alan knows the game far better than me because he was a beta tester, so he knows how the game works. So I'd rather somebody running the club who knows what they're doing rather than some dickhead like me who's got no idea. The main tab that I'm interested in is the finances. As you can see, there's a breakdown, season, game week, etc. And the summary, you can see the season income is far less than the season expenses. So this is why I'm desperate that Leeds get promoted, because the TV money, all the revenue is far or significantly higher in the Premier League than it is in the Championship on this game. So, like I said, I've incentivized Alan to try and get us promoted in terms of dropping him a couple of quid, etc., for doing well, because everyone benefits, and that's the aim of the game. Now, just to let you know, when there is people buying influence in the game, which is basically shares, the club will get a cash injection, and as you can see, through me buying shares, the club has had a cash injection of 394k. If the balance sheet was better, that would give Alan, my manager, the potential to move in the transfer market and bring in players that he would want rather than the players that are currently here. Now, my understanding is these ratings get looked at every 6 months when the season ends and starts, etc. So, real life players, if you do buy one and they do perform well, then their rating would go up in the game, and then they would become more sought after in the game, and that is how you make your money in terms of buying influence and shares in players, etc. I hope that makes sense. Now, just going back to my strategy, Leeds United, take the bias away. In real life, they're the biggest club outside the Premier League in England. Their fan base is global, and my understanding or my thinking behind this is the more people who will join, if they're Leeds fans, they will want to buy into Leeds. So my aim is to buy as much influence, shares, etc. in Leeds United as quickly as I can before they start going up to like tier 3, 4, 5. Because like I said, I want to buy them for the cheapest amount that I possibly can. And while they're tier 1, that is the case. So just to give you some idea, my Leeds RW account, there is my overview, my portfolio of all the clubs that I'm invested in. If you're wondering why Cardiff is so high, I'm originally from Cardiff. I live in Cardiff, so hence I bought shares in my hometown club. But my main priority is Leeds, obviously. I'm now manager of Dunstan, which I've bought shares in because obviously if I get them promoted and up in the leagues, the revenues are going to go up, which will benefit me. But like I said, I've got no idea what I'm doing in terms of managing, so that's hit and miss really, and it's just I'm learning by the day. There is my overview at this moment in time. I have found a site where there is a calculator, so as you can see, my club influence at this moment in time is 32,600, there or thereabouts. So that equates to $761, there or thereabouts. That's how much I've invested into the game via club influence as we stand right now. There's my income estimates for the next 7 days, months, 3 months, 6 months next year, for example. However, like I said, if clubs get promoted, that could increase. Likewise, if any of my clubs get relegated, then obviously could have a decrease on those values too. So it's something you need to keep an eye on. So guys, going forward, I will try and make as many videos as I possibly can on my journey of Soccerverse. As I speak today, my plan, all my income that I generate through SVC, I'm going to be looking to just plough back into the game. I want to buy as much influence in as many clubs, especially Leeds, as I possibly can, because the more users who join, and if the game does explode like Sorare did back in the day, then everyone who's on early will reap the rewards. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Because of the certain roles you can play within Soccerverse, I just think it's open to most football fans. I think most football fans would be interested in this. Of course, it's in its early days, although it's been beta tested for the last few years. The management side is very basic at this moment in time. I just think the results come up, you don't actually see games, etc. But that, from what I've been told when I've spoken to some of the team, is that is going to be revamped, and sooner rather than later, there will be updates on that. But personally, I just love the ecosystem and everything about this game because it's just fascinating. And like I said, there is nothing that I've seen that comes anywhere near this game in terms of the roles, the complexity, etc. If you are listening, I know it's gone on for far too long. If you are still listening, there are some very good content creators on Soccerverse, far better than me. On YouTube, there's Nick, Big Boss. Um, he's got so many good videos out there. So if I haven't explained something, he definitely will. So check out his videos. And that's about it for me, guys. I'm just going to keep, like I said, keep you updated throughout the weeks, just of my journey and how I'm doing, etc. And appreciate you watching this video, and see you very soon. Thank you very much, guys.